Amerish is one of the 3 originally released continents for Planetside 2. Marked by its numerous jagged peaks and forested valleys, using ground vehicles here can prove challenging, and Amerish has long been known as the continent ruled from the air. Connery will start from the eastern warp gate as the Terran Republic, and Emerald will start from the western warp gate as the Vanu Sovereignty. BARRIK Electrical Station, just outside the neutral southern warp gate, is the first of our 6 starting fights. An enclosed entranceway with copious amounts of cover leads to a surprisingly open single cap point room, if you can get past the choke points. The base's outside courtyards and terraces also prove an excellent playground for light assaults. The only neutral major facility to start this fight, Tumas Tech Plant is a crucial base in the south of the continent. Tech plants are some of the largest bases in Planetside 2, and while their design encourages fighting both inside and out, look for servers to use air to drop squads on the gun deck or inside of its massive cathedral, and move to secure the base without ever touching the outlying shield generators. The victor here will be able to begin a slow march into the other server's southern territory, potentially cutting them off entirely from the middle of the map. The middle of Amerish is dominated by an impressive 600-meter peak that has inspired many not-fit-for-broadcast colloquialisms. The mountain is controlled by 3 bases, but the crown jewel is the ASCENT, a multiple capture point outpost with a tower spawn room. The points at the ASCENT are spread out and varied. The A capture point cave is one of the most beautiful locations on Araxis, yet it's deceptive in its claustrophobia. There are several entrances, many well hidden in the rock face, and the interior is large enough for light assaults to hide in the rafters with nasty surprises. The other capture points are outside, clinging to the cliff face away from the protection of the central tower, and players will need to move in the open to capture and hold more than one point. Araxicon Network Hub, situated in a valley to the north of the mountain, is a crucial connection for the northern sections of the map, but its location makes it especially vulnerable to air. The capture point lies upstairs in a powerhouse building, and numerous walls restrict access from the outside. The exterior courtyards are deceiving and can lead attackers toward dead ends and cul-de-sacs with no access to the point. Options for sunder replacement are also scarce, and most choice spots are susceptible to aerial bombardment. The 3 capture points at the NC Arsenal are located in warehouse buildings surrounding a central pit with vehicle spawn. The pad leads to a tunnel with plenty of cover to drive your vehicles out, but few accesses to the points. There are no covered hiding spots for sunders, and most placements are close to the main road, proving vulnerable to armor and air. However, once on the points, the warehouses hold easy choke points to fend off attacks, but defenders must remember to secure the roof access as well. The capture point at North Grove Post sits in a powerhouse building in the upstairs hallway. The base consists of several outbuildings nestled into the surrounding forest and gullies. Sunderers are easily hidden from view here, but attackers will need to push inside the buildings if they want to take the base. These are the 6 starting fights spread throughout the hostile mountainous terrain of Amerish. It will be up to the winner of these first battles to try and capitalize on their position and push the enemy back. Many of these bases become much harder to take once the base is owned by the enemy, so waiting to take them later in the match is a risky gamble to take.
Planetside battles on the Jaeger server present the first battle of round 2. Simulcast on the Planetside 2 channel. Commentary provided by Farah and Redolent. Supplemental casting provided by Lanzer. The referee for this battle is just Isha. And now, Twitch viewers and hardcore gamers, hold on to your frame rate! 2 hours of explosions and lasers in the mountains of Amrish for the honor of their servers in a rising position in the round-robin tournament. In the Western Warp Gate, with 288 players from 23 outfits and led by Pedro Clux from the Bait outfit. And fresh off their first win in this tournament, clad in purple spandex and fighting for Banu, it's Connery Prime! In the Eastern Warp Gate, with 288 players from 21 outfits, and led by Halo Spud from the Fist outfit, and looking for their first win of this tournament, wearing blue armor and fighting for freedom, Cobalt Thunder!
Thank you very much, Nanners. That was amazing. So, there's a treat for everyone, guys. We're very, very blessed here today to have the gifts of Nanners. You here, Redolent?
I am here, and that certainly should wake our audience up at the beginning of this podcast.
I did say in chat we had a special gift today. So Nanners will be back in a few minutes. He will be doing the interviews with us today. So he'll be kind of grilling our representatives from the 2 respective teams. Yes, I understand I played the wrong video graphic in the bottom left. Let's pretend that never happened and move on. So today, Redolent, what's going on?
We are moving to another continent. The whole point of this tournament is we play 3 continents and we rotate through them. So the first week's battles were on Ezimir. This week's battles are on Amrish, and that's going to change a lot of things. A lot of stuff's going to get more spread out, and it's really going to change, I think, the vehicle play and how hard it is to get up some of these mountains.
Right, Amrish indeed. 288, 280. We did do some test games. We did a little bit larger ones when we played some an All-American Server Smash. So today, I guess I'll just bring up our teams. Today's team, I'm the main caster, as said. Redolent's co-caster. We have Lanzer doing some vehicle casting for us, kind of finding things out. Their stats provided by PS2 Alerts Maelstrom, helpful as always. Our referee will be just Isha. He'll be doing his little kind of ref speech just to clarify the rules a little bit later on. The basic rules for today is to capture as much Amrish territory as possible within the 2 hours. The winner is determined by territory control, percentage, and there is no overtime. It's basically whoever has the most territory at the end. That's it.
There is, however, a Amrish-specific rule set. There is the possibility of a draw on Amrish, and so there is a specific rule in case that happens after 2 hours. There is still no overtime, but there's a tiebreaker on Amrish. So if after 2 hours territory control is exactly equal, the winner will be determined by which server holds the majority of the following territories: the NC Arsenal, the Ascent, and Tumas Tech Plant. So basically, if somehow after 2 hours it's a dead even 50-50, if you hold 2 out of 3 of the NC Arsenal, the Ascent, and Tumas Tech, you win.
There you go. Cool. Twitch chat just went off the hook. They're about 2 minutes behind, but that was amazing. Right. And then the last thing, tournament rules. We're just bringing out... the tournament format we're playing is... well, actually, why don't you tell us, Redolent? You do it much better than I do explaining the tournament rules.
The tournament rules are, we have 4 servers, the 4 servers from North America and Europe, and they are playing in 288 versus 288 matches on the continents of Amrish, Ezimir, Amrish, and Hassan. And we rotate through those. It is a round-robin tournament, just like the opening of the World Cup, and whoever has the best record at the end of every server playing every other server moves into the championship. If there's a tie, we work off of territory percentage held. So we add up all of the territory percentage that a server has over all 3 matches, and that is the tiebreaker.
Cool, thanks very much. That's great. So, I guess a few other plugs before we go into our interviews today. One is our website, planetsidebattles.org. So, any information, details, stats about the tournament we're doing or other work that we're doing, you can find that there. I will talk about public pickup and outfit versus outfit and a few other things at the end of the stream today. But that is all on our planetsidebattles.org website and our subreddit, Server Smash, for any tournament information or things you're after. So, we ready to go do some interviews? Come quiz our Cobalt and Connery reps.
I think we need to go grab our Connery
Let's go.
reps. So,
hello chaps, how are you guys doing?
Hello.
You all ready to be interrogated? We have a special guest interrogator today.
Punanners.
Yeah.
Take away, Punanners, it's all yours.
Wow, it's good that you're here. Glad that you're taking your time and energy to get these players together. This is going to be one brutal battle. I know we can't talk a lot about your strategy for this match, but let's talk about what it took for you to prepare. Halo Spud, can you tell us about the time taken, the methods employed by the members of your server to select the leader, to collect outfits, and to build a roster to begin planning your battle strategy?
I hate to interrupt, but I may be the interviewee, but I'm not Halo Spud.
Oh, man. All right. Well, Revictus, then.
Thank
how do
you.
you say that? Rectivus? Rectivus. All right.
Rictavius
Rictavius?
/ Victor Marks. My in-game name is Victor Marks.
Victor Marks. All right. Well, can you answer that question for me?
Well, it's more like a consensus of who wanted the job, really. Become the leader.
Nobody wanted the job. It was to be Forceling! God, not me. Not me.
Pretty much that.
So that's more of a democratic process of who will have leadership forced upon them, right?
The perfect democracy.
Yes. Well, but what did it take to get your players together, try to fill out that roster to get your 288 players?
Desperation, press ganging, conscription, pretty much.
So just twisting arms and making people do it. Did you use any particular tools to keep track of your roster?
Well, we normally use Google Documents on that on the serious side. On the unserious side, we normally keep them in dark and G file rooms where shady men hang around in the shadows.
Oh, collecting your men in the shadows. That's a good idea. Did y'all have any plans for dealing with people dropping out, needing reserves, voiceover IP failures?
Voiceover IP failures, I think we work on a system that we have a backup team speak in place. Not so sure if we've done it for this time because I'm just the PR guy. I don't really get involved in the heavy management stuff. I just look after entertaining you folks, really.
Were you able to sit in on any of the strategy meetings and get an idea for what they were using to plan?
They, like I say, they keep it very, now Cobalt keeps it very tight and inside circles, you know, how can I say it? I don't really sit on the strategy plans because I know I'm a loudmouth and I'll just spill the beans, but...
Well,
yeah,
it's not Esamir, it's Amrish, right? So 100 harassers, right?
No, maybe 200 Valks with repair crews, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I mean,
maybe even
less about the strategy because we know you can't reveal too much of that, but more about what kind of tools do you employ? I mean, I heard you say that y'all use Google Docs and other things to track your roster.
Yeah.
I know some people will use Photoshop to try to keep track of their map. What did y'all employ?
I would think in previous cases for looking at the map we would use a general Photoshop pick to figure out where we wanted to go. But for team rosters and everything, yeah, we use Google Docs because it's actually great to be a spreadsheet system. Well, the spreadsheet system is quite good.
Yeah, that is very popular, I've learned, with a lot of the outfits. Did y'all take any time to review past videos of smashes on this continent or just seeing strategies from the different outfits of Amrish?
I hope we did.
And y'all learn
I
anything
haven't done it
interesting?
personally.
Huh?
It depends. If Hills was up here, he would actually probably say something, but if it's just me up here, I am completely, how can I say it? Manchurian candidate. I do not know anything. You cannot get anything from me. I am completely blank on the strategy. You cannot interrogate me.
How about this? With the leadership, did you hear any grumblings or particular issues that they have with the starting warp gate that they have with Amrish this time?
I think personally, like everybody, even on the Connery side, probably we wanted the Western warp gate. But I think we'll be with the Eastern warp gate. I think. I'm not so sure. I think we are. And I think looking the faction, because we probably really like the faction. Guess we like big, clunky things and blue color. You know what I mean?
Y'all are feeling pretty good, huh?
Does the lack of biolabs, on the front line compared to Esmir perhaps, disappoint you being NC?
Personally, I actually find the lack of biolabs quite a good thing. I'm not fond of biolabs. My server, however, I cannot speak on their behalf, but maybe they like biolabs. Maybe they like the idea of camping biolabs, but I'm not so sure about that.
All
Any
right,
more
Pedro, I
questions?
see that you're here as well. I'm going to ask you basically the same set for this, just to see what it took to get you there. But what kind of method did y'all employ to get your leaders selected and to get your outfits collected and to build your roster and to get your battle strategy going?
Well, to build our roster, we go about it the most fair way we possibly can, and that no outfit can bring more than 12 infantry for ground, regardless of skill. It's a first come, first serve sign up basis. We release the sign up sheet at the same time, same date every time. So we try to keep it really fair for the whole server to get a chance to participate. In terms of force lead, we end up just nominating people, and then they get it voted in, and then they get a chance to say, no, I really don't want this pain, or yeah, I'll go ahead and do it.
Was there as much running and hiding for leadership selection with y'all as Cobalt had?
Not so much. I've kind of gotten pigeonholed into this role as rep and force lead, so it's kind of just become my niche at this point.
He's like, Pedro's like, it's what I do. Well, what were some of the tools? Y'all leaning on Google Docs as well to keep track of your roster?
Oh yeah, we're totally sponsored by Google Docs at this point.
How about dealing with reserves, disconnects, via voice over IP failures?
Pretty much any outfit that didn't get in via first come, first serve, they usually come in and support it in that manner. And then we just rally whatever troops we can via yell or whatever on Connery to get more people in here.
I have a question.
I think you should hold on, Patra. I think you should relay the story of the last time there was a TeamSpeak failure. How one of your platoon commanders dealt with that from his platoon.
It was quite terrible. So it initially started with me yelling through command chat, just praying that they had the certs in command chat to hear me. And so I was getting random squad leaders in different platoons here and there. They're like, no, I'm not the platoon leader, I'm the squad leader. I'm like, yeah, I get that. Get them in this TeamSpeak stat. So for the longest time, though, I had my one platoon leader who was leading the biggest platoon. He was giving one-sentence orders through platoon chat. And that's how he was commanding his entire platoon.
He was typing it. He was typing
typing it out.
Platoon chat.
Going like 1980s NATO was.
Yeah, and you know what? They did great. They didn't get pushed back, but like, there's a huge misconception that we had our comms together, and no, we were just as bad off. Like, I had no contact with most of my forces for almost that second half of that match until the very end when we really started getting things together. But yeah, it was definitely detrimental, and we definitely have a backup plan in terms of backup TeamSpeak.
Well, y'all practice chaos on Connery, right?
We thrive on it.
Well, how about getting your strategy together? Did y'all review past videos, collect Amherst strategies from other outfits?
Yeah, a little bit of both. We reflected on our match against Emerald prior. Got to experience the things from the eastern side and what we liked on what Emerald did, what we didn't like, and also kind of just really took a step back and looked at the map and decided, yeah, this is the way we want to go about it.
Now, what did y'all think were going to be your main challenges for this continent in your starting warp gate and faction selection?
I think our main challenge at faction selection wise as volunteer is the fact that we have the slowest ESF. So in terms of opener, we're a little slower in getting to point. Other than that, I think warp gate wise, we're pretty good in terms of choke points. And I'm not going to go too much more into that.
Well, yeah, you don't want to give away too much. How did your performance in the first round of this tournament factor into your preparations for this match?
Well, you take it with a grain of salt in the fact that, there was that major comm failure for both sides. So, yes, we did win, but I do, give partial credit to the fact that, comms did go down and we managed to scramble maybe a little bit harder than Miller. In terms of that, we don't really look at what we did well. We just constantly look at what can we do better.
So,
and that's the way we go
some
about
ideas
it.
From people, huh?
Yeah, we look at our biggest failures and just try to improve on that.
Well, Rick. Oh, I see he's muted his mic. I was going to ask him the same question.
Hello, I'm back.
Hey, yeah, Rick. Did your people look at their performance from their first round and use that in their preparations for this one?
I hope they did, yeah. I'm pretty damn sure we did.
Do you know of anything specific that they looked at, like questions about how commands were given or how they coordinated,
or anything that they thought they were particularly going to address this time around?
I think it's in a very basic format. How centralized our system was, and we thought about decentralizing it. But that was from one meeting. I am seriously not going to reveal anything because I know how Connery
Right.
is.
What about this then? How about instead of tactics or strategy, how are your force leads implementing command? I mean, do you have a Battle of Britain table of the southeast of England, or in this case Amrish, with all your kind of female waths around pushing little sticks with fighter command and different squads? Or how are they controlling stuff?
As much as that sounds cool, I think it's a lot less